Hi, I'm Faye the Oracle. I'm coming to you with the first in the Manifesting 101 playlist. This is I Am Abundance. I Am Abundance. We're now discussing what loosely tied to abundance for the ideas of our fire signs. So that's Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So getting right into it, we are trying to call in abundance for ourselves. This is in the midst of what I suppose we can consider a very much political as well as humanitarian crisis with the current state of the country if you are here in the U.S. Otherwise, we are still tethered very much to our purpose here in life and in finding abundance for ourselves and others. So we're going to call on all our spirit guides, a spiritual team, and we're going to ask what is the key to abundance for our fire signs today? So let's see, all right. We're going to get one more to start. Right. We got two more, so I'm going to shuffle once more. Okay. Okay, first up and out of the deck with the most significant message is King of Wands. King of Wands, we're talking about ambition, drive, action, acceleration. The wands represent spiritual energy, so they're very closely tied to our sense of creativity and our ability of creation. Sexual energy tied to the sexual chakra, and then we're also talking about fire and the energy of life and abundance. We have Six of Coins. Our coins are greatly tied to our sense of manifestation ability, bringing the immaterial to the material world here in the 3D. Also talks about the flow and exchange of energy. And then we have the Eight of Coins here. Once again, back to the coins with manifesting things into the physical reality. So definitely talks about us moving forward into an energy and into a space where we're essentially discussing how do we take what we have in terms of drive, ideas, ambition, and move them forward into creating things that actually show up in our material world. The Six of Coins here would talk about us needing to better prepare ourselves for the give and take necessary for actually moving things from the immaterial to the material. So at this current time, we're suggesting things like finding camaraderie in others, the give and take involved with community and joint prosperity through charity. We're also talking about the exchange of ideas, communication, things involving us to take a little of what we have and a little of what someone else has to offer and putting them together to make our abundance. It's definitely apparently clear, especially with this particular Eight of Coins card, which talks about hard work being a necessity about this, but also how our manifestation is also deeply tied with our sense of self-mastery. The Eight of Coins is often a card closely tied to building things, projects, but also in the energy of learning and mastering our own particular crafts. This is a great time if there is or has ever been anything that you felt that you wanted to bring forward in terms of creating opportunities for yourself, either through your own, unique sense of creativity, or if you're specifically someone who is an artist, musician, writer, playwright, for example. Also, getting songwriter and other types of performers and creatives. While we may have to, be inside now, we are still greatly tied to our ability to connect and communicate with others thanks to the internet. So there are always opportunities for you to create, abundance by connecting to yourself and then sharing what you have to offer to the world. So moving forward, then we have what came after the Eight of Coins is the Queen of Coins. So the Queen of Coins is very much tied to the earth, tied to the natural world, tied to the abundant earth mother at that. But it also talks about sometimes the idea of sacrifice in order to secure your abundance through time, or sacrifice in order to meet the needs of others. Especially with this time of hardship ahead of us. Oftentimes we feel as if our only direct action is to take physical action and try to move things along. But sometimes the best way to take action is to actually share what we have with others in the attempt to have that blessing returned to us. We have to remember that A big part of abundance comes in knowing that when you are abundant and believing you are abundant, you know that you have plenty of gifts, values, and things to share, and that you share freely with them, with others, and allow them to be returned to you doubled. Next card we have coming up here is the Page of Swords. Page of Swords talks about us being strong communicators, orators, as well as being seekers, seekers of knowledge, seekers of truth, seekers of greater understanding. Especially with our understanding of ourselves and what place we hold here in the world, it's oftentimes necessary for us to recognize that very first and foremost, we are often required to be in positions as associated with the pages of inexperience, but in recognizing that we do have potential to move forward with what it is that we are looking to have come into the concrete reality here with us. So I can definitely say that giving good words of good faith to others is also a great way to share an abundance of positive energy. Oftentimes we forget how important having a very strong sense of intent is in manifesting. And a big part of manifestation also can come with us reevaluating our sense of belief as associated with the Page of Swords. Having a stronger tie to a more concrete sense of understanding of yourself and what it is that you want to create is often the first step to actually moving forward with the creation process. That includes manifesting anything, whether it be opportunities to make more money, physical abundance in terms of having things that you've already had in play to grow, or even in finding new opportunities and communicating with others and being more open to having and receiving new ideas. And this card, which I find most significant now to bring up the end of the reading, in terms of how to invite more abundance in here for our fire signs, is the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups. My goodness. I apologize, King of Cups. This is the King of Cups. So it definitely talks about a level of maturation necessary for balancing out our emotions. Oftentimes, when we are attempting to manifest things, we have a huge fight involved with our ego. It's important to recognize that if you're going to manifest anything, that you actually have to also remember to be in a place of knowing that you are worthy of receiving whatever it is that you're asking for. So having new opportunities for promotions, and for example, the only way that you can get them is being willing to open the door on any opportunity and see it through, regardless of whether or not you feel as if it will come to some kind of concrete resolution, solution, or return for you. Many times we are sent opportunities by the universe so that we can go out there, get our hands messy, and learn that we are capable. And that gives us a stronger sense of self-confidence necessary that when we do finally have the opportunity we've been attempting to manifest come through for us, that we don't hesitate and that we don't get into our mind too much and try to decide that we don't need or don't deserve the things that we've actually been wanting. And the King of Cups is really significant in that energy, as while it is a necessity to also be willing to fill yourself up emotionally with all the positive feelings you need to manifest, it's also very much important to maintain a strong sense of balance so that you're able to receive everything in the time frame that you would like to have it, because not believing in yourself and not trusting your sense of intuition can put a hold on manifesting the things that you want. Even though they will come to you, they will not come into a time frame that is very speedy or very fast or very sudden and unexpected if you don't believe that you are allowed to have these things or that you deserve them. One thing I definitely have come to understand in terms of manifestation is that oftentimes that does have to come with sacrifice. And when I mean sacrifice, I mean sacrificing in terms of old things. If you're going to have new opportunities come up, you're going to have to say goodbye to some aspect of your old life in order to receive them. That can be old ways of thinking, old patterns, but it can also be old relationships. So let's see what comes forward for our fire signs to release in order to receive their abundance. Let's see. And this is my angel emanation deck here, which I really love because it feels very closely tied to what I think of as ancestors. I feel that once we leave this physical realm, there's just no reason for us to look like humans anymore. So let's see here. Okay, we have Hod, and this is the left leg of submission. Gabriel, the angel of heralds. Bina or Bina, who is associated with the left eye and knowledge. And Uriel, the angel of flame. Okay, great. So I can definitely tell you right now with Had and with Uriel. So the angels of emanations are associated with Kabbalah and the tree of life. The left leg of submission talks about being in a place of, I want to say, like a kind of quiet reception where you are allowing yourself to surrender to the universe and to allow whatever it is that needs to be given to you or that you're deserving of receiving at this time to come to you. So sometimes the ideas that we get in our head about wanting things also have to come with the idea of releasing control. This is a card associated with submission, first and foremost, that by submitting to the weight of holding up all the other emanations associated with the tree of life, you are equal parts pushing and pulling away from the overall push and pull that come with life. So being at flow oftentimes meaning that you have to actually be at peace with the waves and the to and fro that comes with dancing in union with the universe. One of my many, many mantras at this time is I surrender to the universe and all it has in store for me. If I feel anxious, I surrender to the universe and all it has in store for me. If I am successful in something, I surrender to the universe and all that I have in store for me. And these mantras are important in allowing me to recognize that I don't need to have control because I have faith. And by having faith, I come to find that everything I need is already going to be accounted for. It's just important that I get out of my own way. And that is where Uriel comes in. Being the emanation of flame, Uriel talks about being willing to burn away everything that no longer serves you. Like I said before, it could be limiting self-beliefs, it could be old ideas, it could be traditions that have never allowed you to perform your life in the way that feels most natural. It can also be along the lines of burning down everything that you have associated with an old world authority. We are allowed to live and to govern ourselves freely, and by being at one with the universe, we find ourselves being at one with ourselves. And being at one with ourselves allows us to be at one with the universe, and so on and so forth. And from there, with Gabriel, the herald of angels, Gabriel allows us to enter into a mindset where we recognize that there is going to be a call for us. We're all sent here to this earth to experience life for a very particular reason and to be a part of something that we may not necessarily understand, but eventually there will be a call for us to wake up and gain knowledge about. I here specifically as an oracle receive messages from the divine and I share it with all of you. And as a part of that process that I'm here to be of spiritual service to others and helping them to understand the patterns that they're currently in, but also to understand that they have the ability to choose their, current trajectory and to decide in what ways they want to progress their lives to best meet their goals and their truest and deepest purpose. And Gabriel is often described as being an archangel. And in this particular message, it talks about actually being the one who brings you messages with being a herald. So oftentimes you may find yourself receiving a call from a very, very small voice sometimes until you learn how to trust it more. Deep down inside, telling you to acknowledge things that you want to ignore or to accept truths that you feel may lead to a deeper understanding of darker aspects of yourself. All of these things are actually tools. These experiences are tools to allow you to come to a greater sense of self-control, self-love, and self-emanation. And with all of that understanding does come knowledge. Understanding is knowledge. Knowledge is understanding. But also with receiving knowledge, we have to have an attitude of acceptance. To find ourselves in a place where we are wanting to be adamant about our ability to control, we're actually losing our ability to control things in a way that we don't even necessarily understand. Miracles are possible. The impossible is always possible. It's by allowing ourselves to release control, or at least the illusion of control, because the only thing you can control is yourself and your actions, and including your feelings, your reactions to the world. And by releasing any other control outside of you, you are allowing the ebb and flow to bring everything you desire to you. And that is our message today for our fire signs. I thank you so much for checking out this playlist and look forward to the other videos coming out for our other signs, including water, air, and earth. And I hope that you have a great time manifesting. If you are interested in a personal reading, you're more than welcome to check out the links in the description box below. And as always, please be sure to like, subscribe, and to hit the notification bell so that you can see when I post again. And I thank you all for joining me. Have a good day.